Greetings, citizens from the rolling hills of the bluegrass. So I just wanted to point something out that others have also said, but that I'm just wanting to make sure that is in the forefront of people's minds. That organizations like Antifa and the Proud Boys, we see where these organizations have taken a playbook or a page out of the playbook of guerrilla style protests, guerrilla style riots. And their organization may confuse some people out there. It is cellular. So instead of having a central hub that everything spins on, you have a central set of ideals. And then those ideals are sent out and people form clubs or groups or associations around those ideals. So you might be able to point at the writer of a book, you might be able to point at a scholar, but you're not going to be able to go, okay, that's the spokesman, that's the spokesperson. And then politically, you can't target them because they don't exist because of the cellular structure. Now, who took what from who is a question that we need to delve into, but I don't have the sources, and I'm sure they're out there, but you would almost probably have to be an Antifa member to find out. But the structure underneath, the actual people organizing it, I kind of believe fall into three broad categories. And I call this the revolutionary Trinity. So you have, first and foremost, the zealots. Right? The zealots form the core that everyone else at the other two categories attach to, because they're more than likely the firebrands. They're very well spoken, they're charismatic, and they lead well in their small group. And the zealots are fanatical, hence zealots. They believe in the cause. And this can kind of be applied to any ideology where the militancy has been kicked up, where it's been brought up to another level. But the zealots will do anything for the cause, and they believe in 100% in what's being said. They do not deviate from it. These are the people that are both gatekeepers and enforcers to the ideology. They are the ones who will choose who is pure and who is not. They are inquisitors. And more than likely, you will not see them, because they will hide. Not out of fear, but because they want to still be functional. The moment that you can pinpoint somebody and say, aha, that's the leader, they're done. Because then you can start throwing the law at them. You can start the legal process of going after what they're doing. So the zealots then attract the other two groups. The first group is the useful idiots. These are your general people right now, out in the streets, in the riots, not the protests. And I really want to make a difference between riots and protests, because it's not being done enough. The rioters, the violent, building burning, property destruction, fighting people, these are useful idiots. They have an okay understanding of the cause. They're informed up until a point. Because in the end, you just need bodies. You just need people out doing things. And whether or not they completely believe in it, because there's probably a little bit of nuance in the useful idiot group. They're a little more, that could be true, and they're more willing to maybe listen things out. But right now, the zealots are whipping them up into a frenzy, and then outside forces are coming in. You know, the police, the Proud Boys, all of these other patriot movements. They're coming in, and you get that echo chamber, that confirmation bias just keeps piling up. Well, see, look what they're doing to us. Of course this is right. Yeah, of course. See? Look what they're doing. And that's exactly what the useful idiot is for. They're not intentionally stupid, right? These people are not stupid. But they're not going very deep into the ideology that they're wanting to believe in. And then you run into the patsies. Now, the patsies operate in kind of this weird middle ground because they know what's going on, and they can be both of the group, Antifa in this case. They can be both of the group or from outside of it. And their job is to take the blame. And these other two groups are fairly fluid. People can move in and out of them. But it's going to be real easy whenever they catch an Antifa member throwing a rock at somebody and say, oh, see, yeah, there you go. That's not one of us. We don't believe in that. But of course we know they do, because look what they're doing to buildings. And justifying it and saying, their insurance will pay for it. But patsies are what they are. They are fall people. They are people who are going to take the blame, take the fire, and try to move as much attention away from the whole of the group onto themselves. So you have these three groups functioning together. The zealots, the useful idiots, and the patsies. They're all working together in order to keep this movement going. And it won't go away. You know, these riots may, hopefully, in a few weeks, months, after the election, die down. But they're still going to be there. Ready again for the next tragedy to occur and flare up again. An idea whose time has come. That's the reason why the ideals are the leaders, not individual people, because we all pass away for various reasons. But ideas can stay. And this is where America is right now. These ideologies, who we thought were defeated for the most part in '89, right? I remember watching, it's one of my first significant memories as a child, right? The first one being sitting on my great-grandfather's knee listening to his pocket watch tick. And then the next one, the really next clear memory I have, is watching the Berlin Wall come down and going, okay, I don't know what this is, but it's important, because those people are happy breaking that wall. And I've never seen people be happy breaking a wall. It never, it was like, I've seen people happy in many other situations, but they're breaking a wall and they are smiling and dancing and singing. They are jubilant. This is important. And it's that idea of freedom. That idea that communism has been defeated and now we will be free. And that remains to be seen. But that's where we are. That to me is the basic makeup of the group of people in Antifa that we're dealing with. And let's remember, because we need to be vigilant, this can happen on the right too. Right? That's my fear with the Proud Boys. I agree with their defense of freedom. I do not agree with the way they're going about it. It's the same way with the Antifa rioters. I do not agree with the way that they're going about these things, but with them, I also do not agree with their ideology. So we need to tighten it up. Right? We need to get back on point, back on message. Because going out there and beating these little weedy nerds physically, instead of beating them on the court of ideas, is only going to rally people to their cause. Because weak people wait until the strong lead. It's just how it works, unfortunately. So let's all try to be strong and resist both the ideology and the violence that these people are trying to push out. Resist the zealots, talk to the useful idiots, and try to free the patsies.